guys, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. Today I have 4 and 4. I have 4 eyeshadow palettes. I have the Eye Donut Care by Violet Voss, the Gimmie Butterflies by Colourpop, the Loreal Paradise Enchanted, and the Tarteist Pro Remix. So I'm going to swatch all of the shades in each of these. I'm going to talk about my thoughts and opinions on all of them as well, and then rank them at the end. So first up is the Tarteist Pro Remix. I do have the original as well. It's in one of these 30 and 30, not 30 and 30s, one of these 4 for 4s as well. And this is what it looks like. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. Like just sitting here, I'm like, it smells like chocolate. It smells so good. So I'm going to talk about the colors, but I'm going to swatch them all for you first. All right, so there they all are. Starts really here, and then it works here, and then I ran out of room. So I put these up there, but if you look at it with the palette, it starts with this shade, and then these are the 2 that you see, the very first one. I think the colors in this are really outstanding. The shimmers are really beautiful. They're really creamy. They go on really well. This gold is outstanding. I love this brown and blue shift one. The purple is really pretty. It looks a little intimidating, like all of the colors, but it works really well, and I like that there's a lot of different things you can do, but there's also like the things that ground it. You have the 2 mattes here, and then you have this matte over here that's black. I would have preferred like a brown because I don't really do a lot of black, but I think they just did a really nice job, and I was not prepared to like it as much as I did, but I really liked all of the looks that I did with it, and I felt like there was a lot more looks that I could have done with it. And I just, I only did 4 days, so I ran out of time, but that's what they all look like swatched. All right, the next one we're going to talk about is this one from L'Oreal. This is the Paradise Enchanted. It's supposed to be kind of a dupe of the Peach palette by Too Faced. It does have a light peach scent to it. It's not like a super authentic peach scent. Like I find it a little cloying and a little obnoxious, if I'm honest. It's not my favorite scent, but you do get several mattes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you get about half mattes and half shimmers. I will swatch it all for you. All right, so that's what they look like all swatched. You're gonna see that's very light down there. This one did not swatch very well. That's actually a double swatch because it didn't want to go on. I also double swatched this one right here. I had to count. It was my 8th one. And it could have been because I used my pinky, but this one, the shimmer worked a lot better. The mattes are just not very pigmented. It does take quite a bit to build them up. The ones that have color, I feel like the washes are probably fine, but I think anybody who is darker skin tone than me is probably going to have a hard time with a lot of these colors because they're just not pigmented enough. They're not going to show up a whole lot on your eyes. It's pretty, it's not my favorite. It's not one that I would recommend. All right, next up is Gimmie Butterflies, and this was, I think, just limited edition over the holidays at Ulta with Colourpop. Unfortunately, I don't think you can get it anymore, but with Colourpop, you never know. They re-release things quite a bit, and things that are supposed to be limited edition don't usually end up being limited edition. This could be the exception to the rule, but this is what it looks like. It's really pretty. Lots of different colors in there. I will swatch it and then show you what they look like. All right, so that's what they look like. So I'm gonna tell you a couple things. Some of these are not considered eye safe in the United States, so that means that they can leave a stain. They could cause an allergic reaction. My friend Stephanie had a terrible allergic reaction not too long ago to a different palette, not this one, but those are things that could happen, so keep that in mind. And then there are 2 chunky glitters, which I don't personally like to use because they're definitely not eye safe, because anytime you have glitters, it can get in your eye and cause damage. So those are things to keep in mind. The color story is beautiful. I love the color story. The thing I don't like about this is that a lot of the looks kind of turned out the same. So I felt like I had not as many choices as I wanted to. So things are really similar. Like this shade and this shade look very similar, right? These two shades are not super dissimilar. You can kind of see that in the color story. The glitters are beautiful. This shimmer is really chunky. Not chunky, but it doesn't want to lay flat very well. It's not as smooth as some of their other shimmers like over here. And then some of the mattes were a little, like this one especially, were not soft, they weren't blendable, they didn't lay down very nicely. So while I do love this and I'm glad that I got it because it's beautiful, I don't think this is a must-have. This is not one that I would recommend trying to find and go out and purchase. I think it's okay. I think it's okay. Like, and I also didn't like that I couldn't use this for everyday looks. Like there wasn't enough that I could take this and wear it to work. Like the other palettes, I found ways to make them work for work and still look professional, but this one, there just wasn't a way without having like a super bright, colorful eye look, which doesn't feel appropriate for a college professor. I don't know if you can see, but there's a little bit of that swatch still stuck on my arm. I did wipe it with a makeup wipe, but it didn't go away. All right, fourth and final one is the Eye Donut Care palette. And I should have mentioned, I wear these for 4 days each. I come up with 4 different eye looks. That's why it's called 4 for 4, because it's 4 palettes that I've used. I kind of forgot to put that. So this is what it looks like. It's a bright palette. I really like the Violet Voss formula. That's why I picked this one up, and I just thought it was super cute with the different colors. So I'm going to swatch it and then talk to you about it. All right, so there they are. As you can see, this white shade is just a beautiful shimmer. I really love the shimmers. There's 4 of them. They're all outstanding, just really pretty. And I like that even though they're colorful, like the blue, like that one I probably wouldn't wear to work, but I could totally wear the 2 purples. They're gonna look appropriate, but still pretty. So is this one, depending on what you put it over. And then there's a nice shade range of browns that you can use too. I really like this palette. I really like her mattes. They're really soft and blendable, but they still pack a punch. This one, like the blue, didn't swatch the best, but it's one that if you put it a little bit extra on your brush, you know, go in a couple times, it's going to look really nice. So I really like this palette. This one was $18 at Sephora, and I don't think that's too bad for this type of a palette, especially because the Colourpop was like $2 less. It was $16. So now I'm going to rank them. Give me just a second. All right, in 4th place is going to be my Loreal Paradise Enchanted palette. I like this all right, but it's just not one that I love. It's not one that I would recommend going out and purchasing. I'm actually going to declutter this one because it's just not something that I reach for a lot. I think this was like $12 or $14, maybe even $15. So it's not a cheap palette, especially for the drugstore, but it's just a little lackluster compared to some of the other shades that I have. In 2nd place is going to be the Gimmie Butterflies packaging, and I just realized there's like glitter on it that's like embossed. It's so nice. And the reason why I'm putting this one in 3rd place is just because, I'll give you the full effect with the butterfly and everything, just because this isn't the most versatile palette. It doesn't have a lot of different looks that you can put in there, and not anything that you can wear that's not going to be really bold and in your face. I also don't like that it has the 2 chunky glitters in it, because those always make me nervous in palettes. In 2nd place is going to be the Violet Voss Eye Donut Care palette, Donut Care, because I just really like this one. I could wear this to work. I could make it work for, you know, I had some fun pops of colors, some different things that I could do, and I just had fun playing with this palette. And I think the quality of Violet Voss is just really, really good. Which means that in 1st place is the Tarteist Pro palette by Tarte. This is the remix, and it's just this, oh, and they also, they put that kind of holographic stuff on it because they just reused the packaging from the old Tarte Pro palette. So that's why they also have that weird thing over here. If I could change a couple things, I would change the matte black and I put like a dark brown there, and I'd also put it over here so all the mattes are together. It just seems random to have it like in the middle, but I really like this for its versatility, for the quality of the shadows, for how beautiful the shadows themselves are. I just think they did a really nice job, and even though it's a little weird how they packaged it, I just think it's a really good palette and one that I definitely would recommend. I've seen it go on sale 50% off a few times. It's also shown up in BoxyCharm, so if you got it in BoxyCharm, I hope you are enjoying it, or if you were debating whether to keep it or not, I would say totally keep it. Let me know if you've tried any of these palettes, if you've tried similar palettes, like if you tried the original Tarte. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. I hope you are having a fantastic day. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of time with me. I hope these reviews were helpful, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.